I don't know. I don't even know what's wrong with it. I may just have to like reset all the settings or something. Um, all right, let's see if YouTube has come back up again.
Yeah, it did.
Of course, everyone's got to refresh their screens. Damn ads.
So we've had basically 127, 128, 129, and 130 this session.
127A, 127B, 127B2.
Yeah.
When we get up to,
We're
All right, let's
back.
see if the chat does anything.
When Stevie comes back, we'll have to tell him, yeah, we're at episode 200. What? What do you mean?
I guess we can jump in the news here at this point.
Okay, so the stream's back up and running. Everybody can see and hear us.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
so. There's only 5 people on YouTube at the moment. Yeah,
Uh,
so YouTube is
Let me
back
just double
up.
check the audio. Yes. Audio's working, video's working. The chat
still
doesn't appear
broke.
to be working, but that's okay.
Yeah, chat's still broke.
Oh, as long as we have something broke, to keep tradition going.
Well, it's funny. So the chats are coming from Facebook because I just see Fred
Dufoss.
Dufoss. I don't want to mispronounce that one. So yeah, Fred is showing up, but YouTube is not. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Thought they all came in on the same restream.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, news with L. Curtis Boyle.
All right, so you can
Take
share
it
the
away.
screen.
Yeah, I will share it. And can you guys see that?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, certainly can.
Like MC10?
Yeah, of course. It's Jim Gary. So Jim Gary has... you guys have to let me know how loud the audio is in this, too.
Not too bad.
It's fine.
Your audio's fine.
No, I meant Jim Gary's because sometimes he pops music and stuff in the background.
Oh, the video audio.
Like, is that too loud for me to talk over? Or?
No.
Okay.
No, it's pretty good at the moment.
So Jim has been busy as usual, doing Avalon Hill ports this week. Avalon Hill, of course, was a company that actually manufactured a lot of strategy games even before the computer stuff started in the 60s and 70s, and then it got into computer games in the 80s, including Coco stuff. So this is a port of Galaxy. And I think he was posted on Facebook too. He's wondering if anybody wants to get a copy made for the Coco specifically as opposed to the MC10. Now this one obviously is using some non-standard sound for the MC10. That's not your normal sound beeps and stuff there too. So it must have sort of ML driver or something going. But Galaxy's kind of a strategy space game, as you can see on the screen there.
Sounds like he's got the double speed poke working.
Except the MC10 doesn't have one.
I know.
And then the second port he did is Nuclear War, which is also an Avalon Hill port. And this one looks a little bit more. It looks a little more basic because it doesn't keep the screen on, like the map on screen. It just kind of scrolls off and then redraws. It's almost like one of those old basic games. Like I think Brian Weezer posted, he picked up a couple of the basic game books back from the late 70s that Creative Computing, I think, put out. And this is the type of stuff they had because they couldn't guarantee that whatever 8-bit they were porting to had control of the screen to do a CLS or a print at or a locate. So they just did stuff that scrolled off to make it generic.
Assumed like a terminal rather than...
Yeah, pretty much. A very primitive terminal.
Yeah.
Because even the terminals back then used to have cursor codes and stuff, so... But yeah, he's been porting a couple of these Avalon Hill games, and some of these... I mean, Avalon Hill did do official Coco ports, but they didn't port everything over. They ported maybe 8 to 10 or something, so... it's kind of interesting having him porting the rest of them. We'll eventually get the entire Avalon Hill catalog. And this here is an update from Paul Thayer. We kind of demonstrated before that he was doing the 64 colors on the screen at once as a palette setting utility that you can actually pick with the mouse, and he's actually got that working now. So he's doing some software timing tricks there to be able to do all 64 colors simultaneously up there, and you can actually move the cursor between where all those interrupts are going off to get the colors going, and then he's got the actual colors you've got selected at the bottom. And that's your palette you're setting your 16 for your current game or whatever you're doing. And then he's also got the ability to read what the RGB values are up at the top there, and you can go manually mix them as well. And it gives you the decimal and the hex and the binary versions of them. So it's pretty cool that he's got this actually working smoothly, and pretty cool that it's got, you know, all these nice little utility bits, you know, giving you the different conversions. So you can use these in BASIC, you can use these in machine language program, whatever you want. And it's part of a generalized editor he's doing with some other stuff. He'll be doing tile editors and sprite editors and stuff too, but this is just the color picking portion of it.
I'd like to add something to this. Paul, a couple of weeks ago, was asking about a better mouse for doing this sort of stuff. And so I sent him one of David Ladd's mouse adapters and got some feedback from this morning on it. He says he really likes it.
I know one other bit of feedback too is that he was trying to get Nick and Sockmaster's software high-res mouse to work on it. But that actually has to shut interrupts off for a fair bit of time to do the sampling, because you have to like read capacitors as they're bleeding off and stuff, you know, in real time. And it apparently was too slow. It would actually screw up the changing the palettes on the fly on the screen to get L64. So he couldn't use it, unfortunately, because it was causing distortions and sparklies and all kinds of stuff. So
exceeding the batch window.
Yep. Which is unfortunate, because that would have been cool too, but
maybe there's a possibility for a hardware adapter.
Oh, definitely. Okay, this one here, Todd Wallace, also known as Lord Dragon in Discord. He's been doing his Coco disk utility, the one that can switch between OS9 and RS-DOS at will. And he decided to add some color to it.
Wow, it is not easy
to film
a CRT with a smartphone.
Just skip ahead a little bit so you can actually see it, but basically just describing what his goal was.
So we've all seen this before. So in drive 0 is just RS-DOS disk. So the regular DIS.
Somebody's got the mic way too close to their mouth.
Thing we're all familiar with. There you go. That's all my own custom thing. But if you want something different.
His voice is kind of low.
Color.
That's better.
It is color computer after all.
Anyway, I know we've got a utility ls, you know, a port of the Unix directory style command on OS9 that actually has the option for doing color for headers and, you know, the different attributes and stuff like that. It each gets their own color going across too. So it's kind of similar, but it's kind of cool seeing it on an RS-DOS side of things. So his disk utility is coming along really well. I'm actually looking forward to it. It's something like we've got some disk utilities by Paul Fiscarelli and others too that are, you know, running on a hosted, you know, modern PC to access disk images and stuff and view them, etc. This one actually will run natively on the real hardware and lets you go between OS9 and basic disks, and eventually not just being able to directory them so you can see, you know, what disk did I just put in here, what version is, what operating system is it. But I'm hoping you'll actually get to the point where you can start copying files back and forth. So if you want to transfer files that you want to port between the two operating systems, you should be able to do that. So,
or adjust the file type modes might be nice too.
Yeah. Rename the disk if it's an OS9 disk, all kinds of things. You get the geometry to see what size of a disk it was. So he's been doing a lot of progress. He's been asking like tons of questions over the last couple of months about all kinds of assembly language stuff as he was going through it and learning it all. But he's coming along pretty good now. So looking forward to see how much further he takes it. This here is a video on YouTube I stumbled across. It's 3OTD, which is 3 old tech dudes, which kind of sounds like, you know, any 3 members of our panel. But one of the members of this trio, Nathan, explains why he got a Coco 2, picked it up recently, and he uses audio spectrum analyzer, and he talks about the experience they had with it. And the two other guys, one of the other ones remembers them being in schools, and their school had a bunch of the Coco 2s as well. I won't play the whole thing, obviously, because it's like, half an hour, but so there's your three guys.
It's a trash 80 Coco.
Is the
It is not.
Color Computer 2 from TRS-80.
He actually does correct him a little bit later on.
That's the first computer I ever used in my life.
Do you know what TRS-80 stands for? It's actually 2 bits of something.
I figured Tandy's the first letter.
Tandy Radio Shack, and then the original processor, not in this, but the original TRS-80, was the Z80 processor.